Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for July 8th, Thursday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a reverse aging health call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Experience life in all possible ways. Good, bad, bittersweet, dark, light, summer, winter. Experience all the dualities. Don't be afraid of experience, because the more experience we have, the more mature you become also. First thing we want to do is go to the place where we're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And we want to relax the body. Let go. I've got a question for you. What if all the worry, fear, guilt, and emotional pain you've experienced in your life was not something you had to go through, yet was a gift that was optional? What if that was the case? What if all the worry, fear, guilt, emotional pain that you've experienced, that all of us have experienced in this life, was not something we had to go through, yet was a gift that was optional? There are many things that we assume are true in life. Only later we realize they weren't that way at all. To find out, one of the things people unconsciously do that creates extra suffering is to resist opening up to the possibility that worry, fear, emotional agony is not required. One of the most unconscious beliefs that people have is they have forgotten their power to simply stop choosing the path they are on and decide to have a different experience. Enlightenment is simply a shift in perspective on reality that creates a completely new experience of this life. Once you realize how easy it is to climb out of the past traumatic trench you've been in, you'll empower yourself with a new type of thinking that liberates you instantly from that old comfortable suffering that you're used to. And the place to start is to understand what causes suffering in the first place. All suffering is caused by either an attachment to a positive outcome or avoidance of a negative outcome. If you simply flow with the constant river of life's experience, you will not cling to the bank or try to swim upstream. Life will simply carry you from one moment to the next, from the deepest valley to the highest peak, and then back down into the cool valley again. If you learn how to let go, embrace, and allow for each passing experience to occur, the pendulum will soon swing back the other way again. Now, you may be thinking that there are many types of suffering that human beings have no control over, that it's not their fault and physically impossible for them not to be in a state of suffering. This is simply not true. When the truth is seen, felt, known, it is crystal clear that every perpetual experience of suffering is self-imposed. Now, if someone steps on your toes, you will have a few moments of pain and agony, yet this too shall pass. If you've contracted a major illness that causes you physically daily pain, this suffering is also self-imposed, because 21st century science now knows that all dis-ease is rooted in some psychosomatic pattern. This means that there is some painful memory, negative emotion, or uncomfortable feeling that the person has not fully embraced, healed, and released internally. There are tens of thousands of documented cases around the world where people have healed themselves of every dis-ease out there. And with a little Google search, you too will come to understand the power we have to heal ourselves with our minds. You don't need to be a sorcerer to cast a spell over yourself by saying, this is how I am, I can do nothing about it. Elaine. Most of the suffering that people experience on a daily basis is more emotional and mental anguish about perceived problems that exist. There's not enough money to pay the bills, so that creates a tension in the body and a continuous anxiety in the mind. After years of holding this type of tension, the body may need to manifest it as a dis-ease in order to release it. Whatever you resist persists. If that person simply accepted and embraced the feeling of never having enough money, they would relax. The creative juices would begin to flow, and they'd soon discover a new inspiring way to generate a higher income. All the problems that you think are real are not. They are more fabrications in your minds. The mind becomes attached to, or is in avoidance of, a certain experience, and instantly the body retracts the sensations of pain. When you can remain balanced in the middle between attachment and avoidance, you won't get trapped on one side or the other. You can ride the edge of life on the third side of the coin, the edge. This is where you can take the higher spiritual path, which simply embraces each experience as the right experience and each new moment. When you can say, in a state of constant equanimity with life, the most enlightening experiences pour directly into you. It's good to know that on a soul level, there are no victims here. We are all each playing a karmic game of catch and release with the law of attraction, meaning whatever experience you catch and cannot release, it will soon expand and eventually manifest in your life. If you keep attracting the same challenging experiences and types of relationships to you, there must be some behavior pattern in your past that you haven't fully released and found peace with. With just a little introspection into yourself, preferably being out in nature, the universe can help you unravel yourself and uncover what your old pattern is so as to free yourself from this great misunderstanding. Why would your soul choose to take on a body and go through this crazy set of challenges here on Earth? If you didn't have any challenges, how would you know what freedom was like? And without knowing struggle and strife, you simply couldn't know what bliss, joy, or ecstasy was like. Yet the suffering most people remain in are because they don't want to look inside and see why they are choosing this experience. They believe they are powerless, angry victims in life, and were just dealt a bad deck of cards. This is simply not true. We are all divine beings connected ultimately to the God source. The suffering that we incur is simply an opportunity to explore the valley, so that when we rise to the peak, we become conscious of life's perpetual pendulum before it swings back into the valley again. By fully embracing the agony of loss in our lives, one day we will swing into the opposite experience of great joy and liberation. Stop imagining yourself being or doing this or that, and the realization that you are the source and heart of all will dawn on you. Nisargadatta Maharaj. The soul is an open door that truly is open to having any experience on this earth. It is the mind that determines which experiences it must cling to or resist. The mind is like a pendulum that constantly swings back and forth. It does this so that we can find the middle ground. It wants us to equalize, take all our past pain and use it to propel us into creating some future state of bliss. No action, belief, or thought that we become attached to in this life has zero consequences. Each movement of the pendulum causes another swing in a new direction. When we become aware enough and truly conscious of each rising thought and feeling inside us, then we will be free from the karmic pattern and begin living as a spiritually awakened conscious being. So what can we do to relieve ourselves of suffering now in this day? Perhaps we are in perpetual pain in the physical body from a trauma. We're living day to day with mental and emotional anguish over money, relationships, job, health, or future. And intellectualize our predicament until we're blue in the face. Yet, this will only create more struggle and emotional resistance. It's good to know that while some suffering is easier to transcend than others, they all have one thing in common. They are based in an assumption that there is a separate thing called me or I who is attached to and over-identifying with some thought. When we can detach from the me so that it has nothing to do with the mind or body and see that it's too is just another thought that we've created, we can unhook ourselves from anything. The idea that this thought of me is permanent and absolutely real is another assumption. What if there really was no separate me? And we did not get identified with anything and simply merged with each passing experience. Who would there be to suffer? When the identification ceases with the idea of me, suffering instantly dissipates, and the true freedom is known again. There is nothing more powerful to practice than the awareness of who we truly are. This in itself will allow us to transcend any personal experience of suffering. The state of transcendence can be found by focusing on that which is beyond all thought. It is found in the silence between your thoughts, in the pause between your breaths. We are all here to discover the divine infinite soul that we are and know ourselves as an unlimited spiritual being which will free us instantly from any state of suffering. Knowing that we are an eternal, formless spirit at the core, a very peaceful, expansive state is found. You can then easily step back from your thoughts and see them for what they are, what they truly are. They are simply thoughts. The day you do this, you've taken the first giant leap into claiming total freedom and enlightenment in this lifetime. Do you want to understand how to awaken the magical divine being inside of you? Instantly download into your heart-mind. Because remember, each of us is the master and commander of ourselves. There is only one suffering I know of, and that is not to be that which you are capable of being. The real suffering is to go on missing the opportunity to transform your potential into reality. Now, as we're in a relaxed state of the body, we do not care to carry stuff, fear, anguish, anxiety, stress, hurry, worry. They do us zero good. So we let it go. We use the hot air balloon, the weight, the ballast, the sandbags in the bottom of the basket. If we can't let go of those, we go nowhere. Now, we let go by taking those sandbags, which represent our worries and different thoughts and fears, and we dump them out. We have no use for them. And then we soar. We go up. We ascend. As long as we carry that stuff, it's almost like we're retarded. We don't progress. We're burdened. And then when some of it's gone, we replace it with more. So long term, you find out that you don't carry any of that stuff. As soon as it comes in, it's gone. You don't even give it a chance to get set up. As soon as it comes in, it's gone. I have no need for you. I have no reason to carry you, drag you with me. So, please leave. Once you've done this and you practice it enough that you're very effective with it, you're totally relaxed, the body does not think, it's not listening, it is just floating. So we move into the now. The now is the only place to be in this life. We don't have a past, even though we say, oh, you got a past. No, I don't have a past. It's dead. Used to be the now. Now it's all gone. People, places, things, all dead. Inert. And we stay in the now. Future doesn't exist because we created it in the now. So for people to think, well, hey, here's your future. Now, all of us have memories, but we store those in the subconscious mind. So we revisit them, and that's fun, and we enjoy it. But we don't obsess over it and stay in it. So the now is all there is, a space between heartbeats, moment to moment. Unfortunately, some of us will go into the past and we stay there. We take the past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist. We create that future from that past and we relive that past in that future. Which is why a lot of people will say to themselves that they always end up in the same place no matter what they do. Some of us will wander off into a future that doesn't exist, and we wonder. We wander about when is this going to happen, when is that going to happen, when am I going to have this happen, when is this, when am I going to meet this person, how come this is taking so long, how come that's taking so long. We're looking for answers in all the wrong places. The answers are within us, in the now. And in the now, you still the ego and the mind, the subconscious mind. That noise, tens of millions of thoughts, programs running through us all the time, we still it. We're not in it. So we still the ego and the mind, subconscious mind, and then we watch. We don't judge, we watch. That's what we do. We experience. We watch. And that's the only way that we're going to master the ego mind. They're great servants, but they're horrible masters. And they're tricky. And they're real good at it. Now, when we relax the body and we're in the now, how do we stay in the now? With all tens of millions of thoughts, even though we've stepped outside, we're still prone to be seduced by these thoughts, which are programs, which are not ours. So when that happens, like a cloud passing by, we grab onto the cloud and we float off into different thoughts. Well, when we're gentle and kind, we realize that with ourselves, we say, okay, this is not an issue. I'll just focus on my breath, and I'll be in the now. And the breath is divine positive energy. The soul enters the body. Powers the body. Everything starts working. Lungs, breath. So the soul enables the body, it empowers the body to enable the body to sustain itself through the breath. The breath is divine positive energy. It holds the kingdom of God within the body. So every single time that you float out of the now, all you need to do is focus on your breath, your divine positive energy. In through the nose and out through the mouth. 3,000% of the time, you will be in the now. Now the body's relaxed. In the now, we have shed all of these negativities, stresses, fears, anxieties. And we notice, because remember, you are not the body. You are the God in the body. You see these, they're like globes or really vibrant colored wheels of light. And they're going right up the center of the body, from the coccyx or the tailbone, tip of tailbone, all the way to the top of the head. You're roughly 7. But you, the God, all of us, we flow through these. We branch out to all parts of the body. We're connected. And we understand them because they are spiritual. They're etheric energy points, chakras, vortexes. And so we, the God, we go through them. The first one is the root chakra, which is the red wheel of light. And it deals with our survival, which is financial and food and, shelter. And what happens is that our survival is blocked by our fear. That's what happens. You get a group of people that are in a wilderness and they all are depending on each other to survive, to live. Whoever panics doesn't make it. Then we move to the orange wheel of light, which is the sacral chakra. And this deals with pleasure, sexuality, happiness, joy, bliss, peace. And we've all experienced it. And we remember those times when everything was just, everything fell into place. You could do nothing that would cause it to be gone. I mean, every avenue, everything was just perfect. You were in bliss. But then that little voice comes in, the ego mind, and it says, you're not going to be able to have this forever. It's going to end. So you better be ready for that, because enjoy it while you can, because it won't last. And, of course, what happens? We're seduced by that, and then it disappears. What would you do if you knew that that was a natural state of being? You could be that way all the time. Guilt's an illusion. Then we move to the yellow wheel of light, which deals with our willpower, which is the solar plexus chakra. Willpower is blocked by shame, which is another illusion. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light, which deals with love, its ability to love. And it's the heart chakra, and it is blocked by grief. When any one of us is in grief, we're incapable of loving. And then we move to the blue wheel of light, throat chakra. This deals with our truth, and it is blocked by lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light, third eye chakra. It deals with our insight, and it is blocked by illusions. Then we move to the violet wheel of light, the crown chakra. This is our direct connection to the divine, the God, you. And it is blocked by ego attachment. So you, the God, all of us, the God, we flow through these energy vortexes, through the whole body, all the emotions, all the organs, all the tissues. The God flows through them all. And then at the top of the head, the God that we are, we can compress ourselves, condense that energy into pure, omnipotently powerful liquid energy. And we can pour it over the pineal gland. Now, the reason why is because the pineal gland is very important to us while we're in these physical forms, because it connects us to all the particles of existence, all dimensions, all frequencies. And you can view it through your heart, mind's motion picture, however you see it. I see it as a green ball, rosebud. And when the God that I am floods the pineal gland with this omnipotently powerful liquid energy, the rosebud completely transforms into a massive rose, fully bloomed, with multicolored petals, sending off phenomenal fragrance. And it just saturates you. You can feel it. You can see it through your heart, mind's motion picture. It saturates you. With the, it's just the highest in these waves, the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, the highest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal peace. And it's unending. You're euphoric. You're like nirvana. And then you discover that the God within that body is the rose is the God. There's no separation. It's a reminder of, actually, it's a reflection of the God within us. And the fragrance is just off the charts. It's so phenomenal. And you feel home. And these bodies, heart mind, ego mind, subconscious mind, the higher self, the soul, the spirit, all one. And those of us who are consciously aware or awake to a certain extent, we know that the soul in the body is the heaven and the body is the earth, heaven on earth. And every step we take, we're creating paradise. Not only that, we are literally shining our light in 360 degrees, fanning out everywhere. This is the pure, deep, eternal love that we are. Flooding all of our brothers and sisters, all life, highest supreme value in the universe, nonstop. And if you looked at this planet from far, with that understanding, you would see a God planet, a paradise God planet that glowed. And that's very possible. Now, we reach out to the parts of us that are awake. Now, it doesn't mean that the ones that aren't awake aren't with us. It's just that they don't hear us. So that's why they're unable to participate in the meditation. So we reach out to the parts of us that are awake, such as all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and complete liberation of this planet. Now, they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe with no sacred space to spare. They come from trillions of universes. And trillions of Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex will fill this entire universe with not 1 inch of sacred space to spare. Even the ones on this planet. Now, we only see 1% of what is on this planet because of the eyes that we have with these bodies. Because they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we've never, ever heard or seen before. Ever. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, many, many, many more. And in the Gugaplexes, they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travels through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, many, many, many more. Now, they've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And in uncountable numbers, in the trillions and beyond, they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this meditation, the forming of this circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, they're in the billions, and they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming this circle of light, complete liberation of this planet. And in the billions, they are with us now consciously. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, El Morya, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many more. Now the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But we do meet with them, and they do cross our path. Could be a complete stranger in the middle of the night, walking by and making a positive comment toward you. You just don't know. It could be very, very brief or longer. But the message is always the same, but delivered in many different ways. Isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? Yes, it is, and that's a piece of bliss. Now, they could surround any one of us in the tens of thousands. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. If you want them to, ask. They'll be there in a blink of the eye. More bliss. And ascended masters, they have mastered ascension into physical form and out of physical form and hold pure God form, pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form and are mastering physical form, creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And that along the way, some of us may just discover that before we decide to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light. We don't follow the light, we are the light. So we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. We're all God, and we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. The circle of light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1,000 trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. And this is the highest of the highest high, the purest of the purest, purest of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. And it is flooding all of us, head to toe, inside now, eternally. All of our brothers and sisters, whether awake or asleep, all life, high supreme value in the universe, this entire planet, inside, outside, above and below, is being flooded by this love light energy, by us. Now, we begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we come into full contact with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And we notice that there are just, you can't count them, there's so numerous, the flashing lights, the like laser beams sparkling and hitting and moving, passes through us, around us, everywhere. All of us gathered, hundreds of millions of us, right in this now, in this meditation, from everywhere. And we notice that the point of reflection, we get real close and we see it's a microscopic, perfectly etched mirror. So we enter it and we find out that all of us are teachers and students with each other, with ourselves, nonstop, continuously. So every time someone walks into our lives, whether it be for 5 seconds, or years, or months, or days, or hours, or minutes, they are teaching us something. And we are teaching them. So we're both learning and both teaching. Always. We are immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are imbued from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7 eternally, with this white fire armor. And the armor emanates from the God Force Love Light energy within each and every single one of us. Much different than a knight's armor. Cannot be penetrated ever. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possession, nothing can harm. If they even came barely close, they would vaporize, and they know it. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, your hatred, greed, anger, stress, fear, envy, deceit, manipulation, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with 2 columns of light, the purple transmuting flame and the violet ray. Now, we've created both of those. The purple transmuting flame, we call upon, it comes in, and we can transmute all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, send them to pure consciousness where they are literally vaporized and never to return. The violet ray, which is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray, We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring the highest of the highest high of the purest, deepest love, eternal gratitude and peace. We are then met with a golden white pink light. This is a calm light that we created that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunset. We are the sunrises. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the trees in the forest. We are the soils. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're literally everything. Everything is us. So the next time you see a starry lit night sky, or a sunset, or a sunrise, or a rainbow, it is you. It is you, the God within you, the divineness, the beauty, the splendor, the grandeur. It's all you. It's all of us. We continue to ascend above this planet. And some of us step outside our physical form. We're carrying physical form and hover effortlessly above them. You know, why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower, which we all created, which is larger than a solar system. In the center of the column is this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light, and they're all pulsing out massive waves of pure, deep, eternal love. The golden white bowl of light, the highest of the highest high of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. Then comes the highest of the highest high of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And then the highest of the highest high of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal peace. And then we learned that we designed the top of it so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, which it's doing right now, non-stop, flooding all of us head to toe, inside and out, with the highest of the purest, deepest eternal love and gratitude and peace. Unending, doesn't stop, doesn't dissipate, doesn't weaken. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, highest supreme value in the universe, all being flooded. Head to toe, inside and out. Now, we are all drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Drops of the ocean, ocean of the drops. And the only illusion is separation. We continue to ascend and we come into full contact with our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. It contains almost 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These are all meditations of the highest high of the deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, gratitude, and peace. It is flooding and saturating us all 24/7. All those meditations, over 3 years, every day. And it's flooding and saturating and bathing us all non-stop. It's simply just spectacular, vibrant, powerful. Religion condemned sex, your love of food, music, art, singing, dancing. If you collect all the condemnations from all the religions, you will see they have condemned the whole of man. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. An easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Love needs courage. In fact, nothing needs courage, more courage than love, because the basic requirement of love is to die as an ego. Only when you dissolve your ego does love start flowing in you. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here Friday, July 9th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging